So you're on a scene, kneeling next to a patient, taking a blood pressure. This is something you've done 1,000 times before. When all of a sudden you're caught by surprise and knocked to the ground. We're going to show you how to escape this potentially violent encounter. I'm Kip Teitsort and welcome to Escaping Violent Encounters. Kneeling on the ground, starting to take a blood pressure, and all of a sudden you're aggressed upon. You find yourself now on your back on the ground. The basic ground defense is what we're going to use to keep a person from getting on top of us. It buys us a moment in time, allows us to create space, and most importantly, just keeps that person from getting on top of us and either choking us or punching us. While the basic ground defense that we show is very rare to be needed in medicine, meaning that most providers that have ever found themselves on the ground, it was by accident. We only have a few reports nationwide of any healthcare provider ever being taken purposely to the ground to be either choked, smothered, or ground and pound. So the basic ground defense, the most important thing that you work here is not smacking your head off the concrete. Concrete poisoning stinks and people get really sick from that. So as you go down, if you know that you're going to go to the ground, you're going to have to tuck your chin and breathe out as you hit the ground. So in the basic ground defense position, the first thing that we're going to do is have you sit like you're sitting down into a chair, tuck your chin, and ease into the floor as you practice this. This is going to be your first opportunity to feel what it's like to accept the ground. You'll be injured if you try to fall timber like a stiff board. We're going to have you get into what we call the rest position first. And what the rest position is we like to place the opposite arm and opposite leg down on the ground. This is so that we can pick up our odd foot, the foot that's not on the ground, and use it as a feeler. You're going to use this to keep distance from the bad guy. You can use this also to kind of like crab walk backwards to create more space as maybe you're getting on your radio and calling for help. When the person moves in, you will roll all the way onto your back, bring your knees high up into your chest, and using your heel, you're going to strike out like a machine gun in a straight line. This is not a swimming or a bicycling motion. You're imagining driving a spike through something. And it doesn't matter what you target with those heels. You can hit the knees, the abdomen, even the person's head if it was down and they were driving forward like they were trying to dive onto you. If they back away, don't keep burning out your energy. Go back to the rest position. We use opposite arm and opposite leg down so that when we feel it's safe to stand, we're going to stand up in a good base. Our hands will be up and open, and we'll use that to create space. Again, getting away from an attacker because this is obviously no longer a patient. So the key factors in the basic ground defense. Protect your head. You do this by tucking your chin. You breathe out when you hit the ground. This keeps us from knocking the wind out of us. And something I forgot to mention was if you yell at the person to say, "Get back," that's going to force you to breathe. If I breathe out, it makes me breathe in. And under stress, I don't want to be holding my breath. So we will use opposite arm, opposite leg in our rest position. If the bad guy moves in, we go onto our back, we machine gun those heels out, straight out. And you do that by bringing your knees high and driving your legs straight out. Not swimming, not bicycling. The basic ground defense. We use it to create space and to keep someone from getting on top of us. I'm Kip Teitsort, and remember, your safety comes first.